Good afternoon, you possum peeps. My name is Sean Patrick Hillman. I'm the chairman and co-founder of N Rawhide. Today is Monday, March 16th, 2020. So, over the last 5 days, we have gotten an enormous amount of emails, text messages, and phone calls asking if N Rawhide is still intending on putting on Palooza 2020 in May. Palooza is New York's original and largest mega pet adoption event. The short answer here is yes, we are. Right about now, some of you are going, oh my God, wow. Given all the events that are being canceled left and right, why are you guys still doing it? That's a question I expect to be answering a lot over the next few days. It's actually very simple. My wife and co-founder, Kylie, this was not an easy decision for she and I to make. There are a lot of variables that go into putting on Palooza, and frankly, it's a lot of work, and it's daunting on a good day, don't get me wrong, but it's worth every ounce of pain to get those almost 500 dogs, cats, and rabbits into loving and responsible homes. That is why we are not canceling at this point. However, we are leaving the door open and making a final decision on or before April 5th. A lot of it is strictly going to depend on the CDC guidelines, the Centers for Disease Control. They have mandated that there is to be no event with more than 50 attendees in the United States until this crisis is resolved. If that mandate is still in place as of April 5th, then we will in fact cancel Palooza. We will have no choice. Here's why. It takes an enormous amount of time to put on an event of this size. Planning, promotion, all of the things that go into it on our side. Not to mention what happens on the rescue and shelter side, let alone the sponsor side. A lot of shelters and rescues have to pull in their volunteers. They've got to plan appropriately to get those animals to Union Square Park and to make sure that there are enough volunteers to take care of those animals on site, okay? Then on top of all the planning and permitting and everything else that we have to do, there's the promotion that goes into pushing this event out so that people know where to go to adopt their new forever friend. We need about 30 days to be able to do that effectively. Without that time, there's no way we will be able to mount this event. So we've got 2 months as of tomorrow. We have 2 months. And with what's going on in our community today, to cancel this event would be irresponsible, to say the least. What do I mean by that? It's actually very simple. Lately, there has been a lot of animals that have been brought up from the South, from Puerto Rico, from hurricane areas, earthquake areas, and so on and so forth. And while that is amazing, and we've managed to save thousands of animals from those situations, in New York City, we are running up against a critical clock. So what do I mean by that? As many of you know, N Rawhide was one of animal care centers of New York City's first, New York's kindest. We love them. We work with them every day. And I could not have any more respect for the folks who work at ACC. They are running up against a very serious challenge right now. They have reached the maximum of their canine population. They've been sending out emails and messages left and right asking for fosters, for adopters, and for donors and volunteers to come together to try and help them get as many of these animals out as they can. Given what's going on with coronavirus right now and the restrictions and certainly the mandates that the city, the state, and the federal government have put in place, we are only going to see that number continue to rise. Given the incredible work that has taken place over the last decade with ACC, bringing their live release rate to above 95%, or 93%, excuse me, that is an incredible, incredible achievement. But it's not permanent. We must continue to push the button. So please, given ACC's announcement and what's going on, go to NYCACCorg to learn how you can help today to get more animals out, to volunteer, donate, certainly to foster and adopt. Back to Palooza, using that as an example. We come out of this period, this time period of quarantine and self-quarantine and so on. There are going to be even more animals that will need loving and responsible homes. So to cancel Adoptapalooza, to cancel the chance for 500 animals to get out, would be against our mission to increase the level of adoptions of dogs and cats in shelters and rescues. I would much rather cancel it a little closer, potentially lose a couple of dollars, than have to cancel an event today and regret it in a month's time. Our first priority, and please make no mistake about this, as a former EMT for the fire department of the city of New York, our first priority is the health and safety of our volunteers, we call them roadies, as well as the staff of our sponsors and our shelters and rescues. Not to mention the between 40 and 50,000 people who come to Adoptapalooza every May and September looking for a new forever friend. So again, this was not an easy decision to make, folks. And frankly, the work is not even close to being done yet. In about 2 weeks' time, we will make the final decision as to whether Adoptapalooza in May will go on as scheduled or not. We have been speaking with the Parks Department, with City Hall, with the staff of the Speaker of the City Council, as well as the NYPD, to make sure that this decision was the right one to make. By all indications, right now it is. So we're going to wait 2 weeks, and then we will announce whether or not Adoptapalooza is going forward. And we're doing that to give everyone enough time. As I said before, planning takes some time. And we want to make sure that we are helping you, the community, get as many of those animals out into new, loving, and responsible homes as possible. Now, many of you have known me since we started Rock and Rawhide. Many of you have known me since before that. Kylie and I, Kylie was away for about 2 months in Australia visiting her family. And then coronavirus hit, and, she was originally only supposed to be gone 6 weeks, and then she was gone 9. It's been a difficult period for everybody. All of you who know me, I ask one favor. Stay calm. Things will get better, folks. I know it doesn't seem like it today. The mad rushes to the grocery store, people screaming at each other in the street. Every 5 minutes there's a new alert, a new breaking news, a new this, a new that. Folks, you know what? We have been through worse. We have been through so much as a city. And all of you know what I'm talking about. We will get through this, but we can only do it together. So, if you as a shelter, you as a rescue, or you as a pet parent need help, Rock and Rawhide will do everything that we can to help, given what's going on right now. We may not be able to help you directly, but we will know those who can. So please feel free to email, feel free to message on Facebook, tweet us, leave a message on Instagram. It doesn't matter. We will help out if we can. This time period, the community must unite. We must stand together to help ensure that all of these animals who are at shelters and rescues right now, that we will find a loving and responsible home for them once this crisis has abated. I know this isn't easy for any of you, as it has not been easy for us. We have 2 very big dogs that are certainly special needs, to say the least, in their own right. But that being said, if you've got a new dog or a new cat, if you've got a question about what to do with respect to your canine specifically, I encourage you, go on to Kate Perry Dog Training's website. Kate is Rock and Rawhide's board advisor as a trainer. She also happens to be an incredible rock star. When it comes to cats, by all means, message. I'll give you as much advice as I possibly can. As many of you know, every month or every issue of Pet Lifestyles magazine, we do a tips and tricks column for pet owners. So if we can help you during this time, please feel free to ask any questions. We'll do our best to answer them as quickly as we can. Only together as a community can we get through this, folks. And I know all of you. You're so strong. You're so compassionate. And you're so loving. Take those feelings, take those strengths, and bring them to the table. Because together, united, we will get through this. Stay pawesome, folks. I'll check in with you soon. You'll have more updates later in the week. Have a good one, guys.